Is Wellington, New Zealand worth visiting? Absolutely. I've called Wellington home for the last 3 months and I have discovered the city's hidden gems and best spots you need to add to your bucket list. Join me in this video as I show you the best of Wellington, perfect for a few days visit. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more adventures and travel guides just like this. To really get a feel of this quirky city, I would start your trip by heading down to the waterfront area. From here, you can get your bearings and get some incredible views of the water, cityscape, oh, and this huge Wellington sign. I promise, you can't miss it. A visit to Wellington isn't complete unless you come and check out the boat sheds on the way to Oriental Bay. This also makes a really great picture spot. If you Google Wellington, one of the first things that you'll see on the internet is most likely these cool boat sheds. Next up on the list is Oriental Bay Beach. Now this is one of my favorite beaches. I arrived here just after summer and I did get in the water. It was cold. If you fancy a dip in the winter, go ahead. It is probably minus 100 right now. This is a very popular beach in the city and it is absolutely stunning. Usually as well, they have this crazy water feature, which is currently not on, but I highly recommend taking a stroll down to Oriental Bay from the city. It's one of my favorite walks, guys. Just look at that view. Just to test I'm not actually lying, I'm gonna see how cold it is. It is currently June right now. Let's see how cold the water is. Definitely would catch hypothermia. The locals will probably say different. And next on the list is Museum Te Papa, which is the Museum of New Zealand here in Wellington. What I love about this place is there is so much to see. You could easily spend a full day in here and it's completely free. Let's go look inside. After spending 3 months in Wellington, I would often find myself wandering around Te Papa when I had a spare minute. Seriously, there is so much to cover in this museum. Spend a full day here or just a couple of hours, but make sure you see the colossal squid. It blew my mind. Next up is Wellington Cable Car. Now it'd be very rude if you came to the city and didn't ride the cable car. I absolutely love it. I've done it so many times. Let's go. This is the best $6 you will spend in Wellington. If you're looking for an iconic activity to do in Wellington, head to the cable car on Lambton Quay. Every 10 minutes, this beautiful red tram takes you 600 meters up into the city, where you will get the most incredible views. And there we have it, the Wellington Cable Car. So this has been running for over 120 years and it feels very European. Once you've rode the cable car up to the top, you can get the infamous picture spot, which is this. Cable car is done and that will take you up to the Botanical Gardens. I would recommend you just buy a one-way ticket, which is $6, and then you can take a nice stroll down the Botanical Gardens, which is what we're going to do right now. You could definitely spend a whole afternoon wandering around the Botanical Garden. There is so much to see here, and on a bright sunny day like today, it's just perfect. No trip to Wellington is complete without spending time on the iconic Cuba Street. Whether it's nightlife, vintage shopping, or grabbing a bite to eat, Cuba Street has something for everyone. I'll give you some of my personal food recommendations later on in the video. I'm just on Cuba Street now, and arguably this is the start of Cuba Street. It is the Cuba Street Bucket Fountain. What do we think? If you are into the cinema, try and catch a movie at Lighthouse on Cuba. It's a cozy, independent cinema and they do $13 movies on Tuesdays. If politics are your thing, book a free tour at Wellington Parliament. I went in the afternoon and managed to watch Question Time live. And if you want to get a bit further out of the city, jump on a bus using a red snapper card and you can do a walk from Lighthouse Bay to Island Bay, which we're about to do right now. This is a different side of Wellington compared to the CBD, and I highly recommend taking time to explore outside of the city. A walk around this rugged coastline will reveal quirky houses, surfers, and beautiful beaches. If you head a bit further past Island Bay, I highly recommend the Red Rocks walk. If you do this in the wintertime, you might even catch a glimpse of seals chilling on the beach. We just did the Lighthouse Bay to Island Bay walk in less than 90 minutes and it was so beautiful. Definitely try and come here at sunset. One of the most popular hikes to do in the city is hiking Mount Victoria, known to locals as Mount Vic. It's a short walk from the CBD to the start of the trail. It can get sweaty as some parts of the hike are a bit steep, but it's not too long and it gives you great views over the CBD and the airport. I personally think the best time of day to hike Mount Vic is at sunset. If you wanted a more significant hike, I would recommend the Southern Walkway, which will take a bit longer as the trail is around 10 kilometers, but this stretches from Oriental Bay to Island Bay and will give you some incredible views. I would often do parts of this trail, and my favorite point was the Mount Albert summit, as you could see the South Island on a clear day. Wellington is a great place for vegetarians and vegans because they have so many options in the city. If you follow my channel for a while, you know I'm vegan, so I'm always going to put in some vegan recommendations. And the number one place you need to go if you are vegan is Belen for donuts, pastries. It's just the best vegan bakery in Wellington. So make sure you come here and get some good baked goods. If you want more baked goods, head to Latte for cookies and pop into Duck Island, which is a legendary ice cream parlor. A local coffee spot in Wellington is Raglan Roasters. They are known to have the best and cheapest brew in town. My other favorites were Pour and Twist and Olive for the beautiful outdoor garden. My go-to restaurants in Wellington are 1154 and Auntie Mina's for vegetarian options. If you're looking for Middle Eastern food, I would highly recommend Kisa on Cuba Street and my favorite food truck, Shook. This is my favorite food truck in Wellington, New Zealand. It is Shook Israeli food truck. I've gone for the falafels and they are so good. You need to come here. So good. There is so much to see and eat in Wellington. If you have any other recommendations, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more travel videos from around the world.